Well, this is it, guys. Tomorrow I am leaving London. I am moving home. That was me 6 months ago. I have been back in New Zealand for 6 months! Oh my god. That's crazy, mate. That's crazy. So, a lot of you have probably been wondering, Sarah, where have you been? You just dropped a random Europe vlog 6 months after you'd actually been in Europe. What's going on? Don't worry, guys. I'm back for good. I promise this time. But if you are new here, welcome to Sarah Says. Basically, I'm Sarah. I moved to London when I was 18 and was there for a year and a half, and sadly I am back in New Zealand. Well, actually I'm wearing the top, Dunedin. I'm back in Dunedin. And boy has it been the most interesting, insane 6 months of the year, maybe even of my life. So grab yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, or whatever, and buckle up, because I'm about to tell you why moving back home wasn't at all what I expected. So I moved back at the start of July, which, as you saw in that first video, I was ecstatic to come back home. I was pumped. Super, super ready. Even though I didn't want to admit it at the time, I was ready. I was A, exhausted, B, had no money, and C, I was sick of London. I kind of threw out the idea that maybe I would move back and finish the time of my visa. I know a lot of people were asking me about why aren't you staying the whole time? But actually, 3 months of travel does kind of kill your stamina. I was so tired. I was actually exhausted to the point where I actually slept the whole flights home. And the first couple of weeks of being back in New Zealand was great. It is the middle of winter, and I was pretty happy to be home. I was like, oh, this is great. Like, I'm with my family. It's great catching up with everyone, and good coffee, good water, back in my own bed, seeing my friends, eating good food, having lots of wine, and talking about my time abroad. And I was buzzing, because you're on that high from seeing everyone and like explaining your fun time overseas. But then I became quite desperate for employment. I came back to the country with $200 in my bank account, which is the lowest of the low. Like, that is so broke. I've never ever been that broke in my life. Like, that's insane that I had $200, and that doesn't get you much. So I was pretty desperate for employment, but I wasn't too disheartened because I had 2 job interviews in my first week. It was good. They both went really well, and I was pretty like, oh, this is great. Like, I've already had 2 job interviews. I've barely been back in the country, and I'm already like, the jobs are coming in. I hate to say that they were unsuccessful because I actually heard nothing back. Ah! And I have still cut about it. Who doesn't reply back? Anyway, doesn't matter, because I actually got a different job. One that I wish I never settled for, and one that actually broke, or like one that was probably the start of the descent, plummet to the depths of despair. So I got this job, and I was actually there for 3 whole weeks. In these 3 weeks, I had lost my confidence, wished I'd never moved back, and just honestly started to just hate Dunedin, which, Dunedin's great. Dunedin's so great. I just really felt upset, and I genuinely couldn't look at any of my photos from my time abroad. My mum had made me this like really nice collage of my trip, and I just like looked at it and I just felt so sad, because in those pictures, I might show you a picture because it's literally right here. In those pictures I look so happy and so myself, and I'm like, I can't even look at that. I can't look at you because I'm depressed. It was mainly the employer. The employer is a very mean lady, and she really didn't like me, but I think she doesn't like a lot of people. I've had that time, but I really lost my confidence as a bartender. As you can imagine, I worked overseas and thought I had good skills because I've been working and living in London, but apparently not. And I just thought I had enough. I kind of hit that wall where I was like, I can't be here anymore. Like, I'm so sorry. 3 weeks is enough for me, love. Get me out. So I actually quit on the spot and head to Queenstown, which might be a vlog later because I kind of found the footage and it's actually a really cool vlog. But I actually came back to Dunedin clear-headed. I came back like, oh, this is great. Because I went by myself and I was like, I love my life again. Like, this is great. I love New Zealand. This is amazing. I had the best couple of days in Queenstown and felt so grateful. And I actually had a little phone call while I was there. There's a place not far from my parents' home that they wanted to meet with me, and they said I had really good skills. The lady on the phone said she used to work at the Swan in London. And I was like, no way, that's crazy. Like, you used to work there too? That's amazing. So I actually took the job interview. Then I had a job trial kind of pretty quick, and they just offered me the job straight away. They were like, you can have it if you want. I go, yeah, cool, pretty desperate. Like I said, I probably only saved $600, and I spent a couple of that on my trip to Queenstown. So I was also back to square one broke. So I was like, yep, just sign me up. Everything seems good. And like, look, this job seemed so good. 2 minutes down the road, parking, a nice view. I'd actually never really been there before, but like, all the staff seemed young and they seemed really like friendly-ish. But the thing that I liked most is, well, there was a lot of staff and they were all young. So I was like, yeah, like that sounds good. But a bit of a depression time of those 3 terrible weeks. Like, this job will be so chill. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Just kind of like a little warning. I am going to be ranting about this job. So be prepared. Oh, I don't even know where to begin because there's so much to talk about. So I said that the people were young. These people were very, very cliquey. They were like this, and it was a big group of them. Basically, this job was split between like the bar and the restaurant. I was on the restaurant side. The bar people were like different, but they all hung out together and they were super, super cliquey. When I had it was my first week, and someone had a birthday party and they were all talking about it, which was fine. I'm new. Of course, I'm not going to be invited to someone's birthday party. So I brushed it off, whatever, like, it's fine. I actually worked with this American guy very, very briefly, and he said, like, I asked him, like, do you like it? And he goes, I like the job, but I don't like the people. And I go, oh, why? And he goes, oh, they don't like me, they're very cliquey. Once again, brush it off. Because that's what I do. Brush that comment off. He was freaking warning me. This guy actually ended up quitting pretty soon after that. And he was only there for like 3 months, maybe. Would hang out all the time and like talk about everything they did the night before right in front of me. And you know what? It actually got really annoying. And it's actually really rude. So if you're one of those people who does that, think about it. It actually sucks really, really bad. And it's like not something that sucks the first couple of times. It's when it happens over and over and over again that just builds up, and it's just like they would do it every single shift. Oh, like, how was town? Yeah, it was so good. Oh, she got so drunk last night. And I'm like, I wasn't there. And I think someone even asked me like, oh, did you go to whatever last night? I go, I wasn't invited, love. Then there was this whole thing where they added me to this group chat with everyone in it, which was fine. And then a couple of days, maybe even a week later, someone like had removed me. Why? It hurt a lot because I thought I was getting along with everyone, and I was like, oh, surely they'll invite me, whatever. But they just didn't include me with anything. They didn't even include me with like vape breaks, which is another thing that pissed me off. They would sit outside on our deck and just vape for like 20 minutes and let me do all the work, which is actually terrible work ethic. And I genuinely like, why do they even do that? Terrible people these people were. Oh my gosh. The thing was, we had this work Christmas party. Not like Christmas party, this work leaving party. Basically, when I just started and they had just sold the business to new people, which is a little bit like, why didn't you tell me at the start they were thinking about selling it? Would have loved to know. Not a problem anyway. So they sold the business and they were throwing a little leaving party for us all. And I actually went up to Auckland for a week, and people asking me about like, how's your new job, Sarah? Like, how's it going? And they said things like, oh, it's okay, like, the hours are good, it's fine, the people are fine. It's not fine. It wasn't fine. And then I went on the staff party, which was fun, but once again, that super cliquey vibe. Loved it. Like, people are so oblivious they can't see that people are being left out. So that was fun. We all have a good time. Like, the drinks are all paid for, so I just get, I take advantage of that, per se. And there were a couple of, things that happened that just didn't sit well with me that night. Another thing about this job was that they had split shifts, but because the economy is so bad right now, people aren't going out, that these split shifts would honestly be like 2. So basically they are like where you do 4 hours, you come home for 2, and then you go back for another 4. But these split shifts were like you would do an hour, go home, come back, and then do another 2 hours. And it's just like not cool because it ruins your whole day. And actually that was what made me really not enjoy the job. I really was like, oh, I've got to go back. And someone told me like, you'll get used to it. And I was like, yeah, maybe I will. No. Who invented split shifts? They suck. They suck so bad because I've got to work twice. I don't want to work twice. No, I don't even want to get into it because they suck. Oh my god. Never again. There was also a couple of comments that were made. One of the girls was like, she came up to me and she said to me, she's like, oh, don't talk shit about us because we're all best friends here. Which was a little bit threatening, actually, now that I think back. And I go, oh, I'm not that person. I don't really talk. I thought that was a little bit of an odd comment to make, especially to someone new. But then someone told me that, we haven't had a new person for, since last year. And I go, okay, makes sense. Because you guys are very, very unhelpful and not the nicest towards me, you know? But anyway, it gets worse and worse. They just leave me out all the time. Never invite me out for staff drinks. Never invite me out regardless. And it just... I actually pulled the plug. I couldn't be bothered with it all. One day, it was a really lovely day. I think I'd been working there for about 2 months. Maybe even a little longer than that. And I actually just go, you know what, screw it. I'm going to have a drink and I'm going to sit out and enjoy my drink. I actually sat out with some people and I sat there and I was like, this is actually the worst thing ever because these people suck. These people are shallow. And I realised I had nothing in common with them. And no one asked me a single question about myself. That was a thing. I don't normally talk about myself unless people ask questions. No one cared about anything I had to say, which made me feel so unseen and unwanted, and it actually made me loathe going to work because I literally was like, these people don't care at all about me. They don't care. So I actually decided that those people were not worth my time or energy and just actually closed it right off because I couldn't be bothered dealing with it. Kind of meanwhile as well, that all this kind of was happening, was me and my friends were looking for a flat for next year, and we got rejected by a lot of flats, and then we finally found one and got accepted, but then my friend dropped out, and it just actually, it was so much on top of all this crap. It was like clutter, just piling on top. I felt so down. I felt so just down. I was in a crappy job. It just really, I just couldn't face that how different my life was at the start of the year. I just felt depressed. I honestly think I had some sort of I lacked motivation for anything, and I just this job is just not for me. It just, honestly, it sucked my soul dry. It really sucked my soul dry. I was so down for so long. I was talking about these people like they were wrecking everything. And the thing was that I forgot to mention, that I will mention now, is I had a plan coming home. I had this whole reason why I was coming home early. Basically, come home, get a job, save up some money, and go to Thailand around this time of year for New Year's. Well, that didn't happen, did it? It really didn't happen, and I think that's why I struggled so much with it, because that plan, it went to custard, really, and I really had to let that go. And I think it's totally okay that these things didn't go so well. It really... I just think I came home for a reason, like you always do, but at the time it sucked. But look, coming home has had some real big upsides as well. I love hanging out with my friends and family. I love the coffee. Dunedin has the best cafes, my guys. Like, I love coffee. I love cafe culture in New Zealand. I love cooking. I love baking. I've got back into swimming, which I love. I've got a great bed. My mum just reminded me of the other day. She was like, you used to always be like, I just can't wait to be back in my own bed. I love my bed. Everything worked out. We got a new flatmate for our flat. She seems great. Super excited for that. I'm enrolled for uni. Yay! So excited for that as well. I have a disposable income. That was the other thing. Like, why would I stay in a job when I have no big responsibilities? I've got no mortgage. I've got no rent to pay yet. I was so fine to not have a job. But it might have been a different story if I had genuine responsibilities. But I also love being back home. But also, guys, I got a new job. I actually got a new job pretty quick. It's actually really funny to think about that. But I got a job very, very quickly. Once I had kind of shut off, I was like, this chapter's closing. I'm going to stay in this job until I find a better job. But I was actually genuinely thinking of just quitting and be like, bye. So I actually got a new job. It's actually a very, very funny story. I might just quickly tell it because it's just like sod's law. When I got that job, because I got it on Facebook. We have this like Facebook group to find hospo jobs. There's this place in Dunedin, which is probably one of my favourite cafes, gotta say. Cafe, restaurant, bar. It's called The Swan, and they were hiring. I go, oh damn it, like I just got a job, but that would have been cool because I worked in this one in London. That would have been so funny. But then kind of that same week where I'd shut them off and been like, it's done, I'm over this, I don't care about them anymore, they were rehiring, and bro was opening a new place. So I actually was like, you know what, I'm gonna apply, I'm gonna send my CV out. It's like the universe giving me a second chance, right? You just never know. So I go, yeah, cool, and I get the job. And I've been working there. We've been open for 2 weeks now, and it's been crazy, guys. It's been insane. It's been like literally everything I wanted in that previous job is in this job. Great co-workers, great boss, great vibe, great lifestyle. Yeah, I want to slam that chapter hard. 2025, it's gonna be great. I'm so excited for it, but definitely turn the corner, and I'm so much happier. I love being back home and in New Zealand, and just these past couple of months have made me really realize that sometimes you just gotta go through the hard stuff to get to the good stuff, you know what I mean? And also, coming back home doesn't mean your life is over. I thought that for so long. I was like, I'm never gonna get back over there, but actually I will. It doesn't mean that like my life is over because I'm back home. I'm gonna have so many more times to travel and go overseas and experience great things again, and that's the beauty of life. Anyway, I also plan to stick around on YouTube as well. Very excited to actually get going into like my YouTube era. I did try, but I wasn't consistent enough, but that's because I was so busy in the UK and stuff. But so yeah, definitely hit that subscribe button if you've just come across this. I'd love to see you guys stick around. Yeah, that's my reasonings on why moving back home wasn't all what I expected. I don't know, I guess I just expected it to be so smooth sailing, but it wasn't, but now it is. It's good now. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have such a good day or night, whatever, week, I don't know. And I'll see you very, very, very soon. Bye.